welcome back to my channel. I am Heather Briggs of My So Quilty Life, and I have a fun video planned. We are finishing Flower Stand. Oh my goodness, can you see? I am so sad. I am sad. I'm so sad that it's just about to be all over, but guys, this has been an incredible journey, and I've had so much fun guiding you throughout the block of the month to keep you motivated, to keep you on schedule, to keep you excited with all the little fun goodies. Be sure to check out my last video where I go into each block. I even show what's inside all of the flower packs. So this is the last video of our flower stand. I'll actually have another video just showing everybody's progress. That'll be our final celebration. But this will be the last video that I probably hold up the quilt, talk about the quilt in further detail, and show you step by step from the patterns. This is it. It's over with. I can breathe. I'm so sad. I honestly am having mixed emotions because this has just been a long time coming. I've been working on it for over a year. I started designing the quilt in about July, August of 2023, and here we are just about to be in November finishing up the quilt. That's a whole year from design, well, year and a half from design to execution to finishing and all of the things. And it's taken a lot of work, and I know you feel the same when you've made this quilt, but I know that you also feel super, super proud of yourself, and I am so proud of you too. So are we ready to get started putting this quilt together? I'm not sure if I'll be able to fit it all in one video. I am running out of time today, so I might have to do part of the video today and part of the video of finishing another day. But guys, you know my instructions are pretty clear and to the point, so I don't think you'll have a problem putting it together, and you probably don't even need this video other than to just say, hey! Some of you probably put me on in the background while you're sewing or just laugh at me when I'm being silly, and some of you probably do use these videos to finish your blocks and make your blocks. But anyway, like I said, I might have to do two parts, so this will be part one. If there is a part two, I will let you know, because this was not supposed to take all day. I started at 9 a.m. and now it is like almost 3. Almost 3. I filmed a ton of stuff for you guys, a fun block flip through, and I went through the packets, and I finished the block 11 and 12, and this has just been such a great day. I'm covered in threads. I mean, look, threads everywhere. Shouldn't have worn black, but that's totally fine. So are you guys ready to get started putting your quilts together? Okay, so for one final time, maybe, I don't know, I don't want to say that because what if I hold it up in another video? But for the flower stand block of the month monthly tutorial videos, this will be the last time I hold up this quilt and show this quilt, because you guys are about to have one of your own, and you'll no longer care about mine or need to see it because you'll have one right in front of you. So here is the flower stand quilt. I'll just show it in two sections here, but here is the beautiful flower stand quilt that we have been making since April. I believe it started April, maybe May. I'm losing it. But that is the top, and then the bottom is here. Oh, kind of, if I can catch it. Okay, so here is the bottom right here. So you're about to see this entire quilt come together with just the blocks and a little bit of brown for the flower stand and some background. And here's the back of the quilt if you've never seen it. It's got my beautiful low volume main print, and then we've got the peach stripe binding. So pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna fold her back up because she will probably, I wish I had some bigger wall space where I could hang her. Might have to try to maybe hang it in my house somewhere. Now that we're done, I no longer need to show the quilt. I think that's what I'm sad about too, is it's done. It's done. We're done with it. I've enjoyed all the communication and all the camaraderie and all of that, and it's about to be over. Hey, how about, I have a great idea. How about you guys make it again? We'll just start all over and just do it again. Kidding. This is my second time making flower stand, and I think I've had enough. I think I have had enough. Not that I don't love it, I've just got to move on. Okay, so you do need your Flower Pack 6. Flower Pack 6 does have the 11 and 12 block pattern, but it also has your finishing pattern. So go ahead and get those open and let's break it out. I haven't yet looked through it to see how I should do it or not. So guys, I'm winging it. This is just me winging it. And I probably will follow the instructions just because it's been a long time since I've made it and I don't want to make any mistakes, but We'll see. So the first page just shows a big diagram, and then it fades out the blocks that you've already made so it doesn't get too busy in the diagram. So you will see the blocks or the pieces that are not faded are the ones you still need to cut. And then on that next page is your cutting. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna have to clear a little bit of the blocks off because I'm actually going to try to do it step by step. So let's just put these all to the side. Well, here, let me put all of these. We'll dig into those in just a bit. This big old block here. Okay, so I have my design board right here with all of my pieces. I have not labeled them, which might be a mistake. So go ahead and label yours if you're following. But here we go. I have my pieces here, but I kind of think I'll be able to like see in the pattern what I need. So starting with step 1, you're drawing your diagonal line on the back of all the pieces that it states. But for step 2, we need our fabric J squares. There are 2 of them. Okay. And we need fabric B and C. So this will get interesting. So these are all my big pieces. These are B and C right here because they're the squares. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go to the top camera and we will get started here. Okay, so I have my fabric J's. These are the brown fabric J's. I have fabric C and B. So what we're going to do first is we're basically going to make a half square triangle with our J and B. So that's all you're going to do first is you're going to assemble on your diagonal line. After you have done that, you will press it open towards the bottom. And because you're not using directional fabric, I'm not going to have you make a left and a right one. So you're going to do this step, press. The next thing is you're going to put fabric C on the top corners. And again, assemble and press open. This is going to create those little brackets. So that is what you should see in your pattern. Okay, so the next step is very crucial. After that, you do need to rotate them. So you're going to have a left unit and a J unit. So here we go. Let's go ahead. And as you can see, you're going to have a left unit, okay? And then the right unit stays the same, okay? Just like that. And what we're going to do here is we need our fabric G. So our fabric G rectangles, I'm going to assume are these ones. I need to not assume. I need to know for sure. And we're just assembling our, yep, see, those are too big. I'll cut them down. We're going to assemble our fabric G to the side of the left one, the left side, and our fabric G to the right side of this one. And we will end up with an LJ and an RJ. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside because you know me, I like to combine as many things as I can just to save time. But we're going to move on to step 4. So for step 4, you need your 2 fabric P's, and we're going to be making a left and a right. And we need the only fabric I squares. And what we're going to do is we are going to place a fabric I square on the bottom right corner of our fabric P for this one, and bottom left corner of our fabric P on this side. So you'll have a left P and a right P. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble these steps together, and when I get back, we'll be moving on to step 5. Okay, I just got done with a step 3 and 4. So here are my little brackets, the RJ units. Not really sure how they go here, but we'll go with this. Okay, here are my RJ LJs, and then we have an RP LP. Here we go. Right here. So what we're going to do is this is the first step that we actually need some blocks. So we need those 2 units each. So we're going to make one left, one right. And we need block 8. So both of our block 8. So let me open up this and get block 8, which is going to be closer to the bottom. Right here. So you need both. Yours should be, if you followed the instructions, should be the same, so you don't have to decide which one you'll use for which side. So let me throw all these blocks back up here and throw them over. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna lay it out, and I'm gonna use my top camera. We're gonna lay it out according to the pattern. So your block will be on the bottom, and these are the same, like I said. Then you need to look we'll do this side. So you want your fabric G to be on the right side on this one, and fabric G to be on the left side of that one. You're going to put your RP unit, let me move this down, your RP unit on the top of this one. Let me separate them so you can see them a little better. And your LP unit on the right there. So that's supposed to be like a little angled wood that you see. So what we're gonna do is we're first gonna assemble our LP to our LJ. Then we're gonna press and then assemble our block 8 on this side to make our left bottom unit. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna assemble our fabric RP to our fabric RJ, and then our block 8. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and when I get back, we will be moving on to step 7. Okay, I just got done making the left bottom unit and the right bottom unit. Let's see, can I get these right? That looks pretty good. So here we have it. Oh my gosh, we're putting this quilt together. Can you believe it? I cannot. Okay, so I'm gonna set those guys aside. And we're going to move on to step 7. Strings on me. Okay, so for step 7, we actually need our little flags that we made. So block 11. So I know that's going to be right down here underneath this. Nope, I lied. They're going to be underneath this. Nope, I lied again. Oh my goodness, how embarrassing. Okay, well, let me just look through these. Here we go. Here they are, block 11. Okay, so we need block 11. So we're going to use one. First, we're going to use the one with the pink. So the one with the peach, and we'll set the green one aside. And then you need block 6. So block 6 are the little poppies in the crate. Let's see. You know what? I should have labeled these. That would have made this go a lot faster. Okay, so we've got our little cute poppies in the crate, and we've got our little peach little flag. All we're doing here is we are assembling the little poppies to the bottom of the peach flag. Super simple. Super simple right here. Okay, and then for step 8, I will set that aside because I will do step 8, 7, and 8 at the same time. We're just taking our cute little fork and shovel unit, block 7. That's block 7. So we're going to take block 7. Here we are. And we're going to assemble block 7 to the bottom here. Look, I'm running out of room. So block 7. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble both steps 7 and 8. And when I get back, we're going to be moving on to step 9. Okay, so here I have step 7, which is our left middle unit. And here I have step 8, which is our right middle unit. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on to step 9. There's a couple of different things that we have to do here. Lots of sewing and pressing and then assembling more. So let's go ahead and move on to step 8. I'll set those aside. Okay, now we're going to move on to step 9. So for step 9, you need blocks 9 and 10. So here I have blocks 9 and 10. 9 and 10. And then you will need a couple of different brown pieces and white background fabric. So you do need 2 fabric L, and I've gone ahead and pulled mine. So 2 fabric L pieces right here. You need 1 fabric M, 2 Ks, and then 2 fabric Ns. And then you need fabric D and 2 fabric Hs. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna break this down since it's assembling a lot all at once. So the first thing you're gonna do, you see those arrows with numbers. We're gonna do each of those steps first. So the first thing we gotta do is we are going to assemble our fabric N to our H on both sides. So it should look like this. Okay, so we're gonna assemble those together. Then we are going to take our very long fabric D and assemble both of those to the sides for our legs. So I'm going to go ahead and do that step really quick. Again, I don't have much room here, but I'm going to do that step really quick, and when I get back, we'll move on to the next step. Okay, I just got done with the bottom piece. So here we have the little legs that'll go on the flower stand. Now we're going to move on to making the actual flower stand part. So I am going to set this aside here. And we're going to grab our fabric K rectangles and M. But first, we're gonna go ahead and assemble fabric M in the middle of both blocks 9 and 10. So this one goes on the right side. So we're just gonna go ahead, I'll press that. We're gonna go ahead and assemble our fabric M to the side here first. And then we'll press it and assemble our block. I think this is block 9, this is 10. We'll assemble our M to block 10, press, and then assemble all of this to block 9. And you could do it either way. Okay, I just got done assembling blocks 9 and 10 and a fabric M. So here it is. Our next step is to assemble both brown K rectangles to the sides of those blocks. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and when I get back, we'll start assembling it all. Okay, so I just got done assembling that part. So here we go, it's coming together. Okay, so the next part that we need to do is we need to assemble both L rectangles, and I have not trimmed mine yet. I will, but to save time while cutting, I just always cut them and trim them down later. But we are just assembling our fabric L's to the top and bottom. Easy peasy. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and when I get back, we'll assemble the little leg unit on the bottom. Okay, I just finished with that part. So here we have this, and now the final thing to do in step 9 is to attach the little leggies. So all you're gonna do is assemble them to the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and when I get back, we'll be on step 10. Okay, so I just finished step number 9, and here we have the bottom unit. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set this aside, and now we're gonna work on the middle unit where all the flowers are sitting on the shelves. So adorable, love that part. Okay, so for this, we need a couple things. We need blocks 1 through 5. So I'm gonna grab them here. Blocks 1 through 5. And what we're gonna do first is we're gonna put together those blocks in rows. So we need, for the top row, we need block 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so if you're looking at this camera, so this is what it will look like right here. We also need our 2 fabric O's and our 1 fabric Q. So here are our fabric O's, and then our fabric Q, which is the shelf that will go in between. Okay, but before we use those brown pieces, we need to do a couple things. We need to assemble blocks 1, 2, and 3, and assemble blocks 4 and 5. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, assembling block 1 to 2, and then assembling block 5 to block 4. And then I'm gonna assemble those and be right back. Okay, I just assembled 4 to 5, so I'm gonna lay this to the side because I no longer need that at this moment. I now need to assemble block 3 to block 2, so I'm gonna do that right here, and then I'm gonna press. Okay, I just got done assembling blocks 1 through 3. Now before we move on to the next step, if you have any little excess bits hanging off, you're gonna wanna clean those up now, so you don't have to worry you might be a little out of square, but you can go ahead and make those adjustments now. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim up just the little bits that are hanging off before I start assembling this together. Okay, so now for the next part, we are going to assemble. I'm going to start by assembling the fabric Q rectangle to the top of this little bottom row right here. And I'm gonna cut this down when I get over to my cutting table. But what we're gonna do is just, I'm gonna pin it, and then you're just gonna assemble with a 1/4 inch seam all the way down. Then you're going to press that towards fabric Q, and then you're gonna assemble this little top row to that as well. So I'm gonna do that really quick, and when I get back, I will show you the rows. Okay, so I got my fabric Q to the top, and now I'm gonna assemble that top row to that fabric Q in the bottom row. Okay, here I have the middle unit. I just need to add fabric O. So all we're doing is adding fabric O rectangles to the sides of our little middle row unit here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and when I get back, we'll be moving on to step 11. We're almost done. Okay, here is my assembled middle unit for step 10. Oh, it looks so good. I'm so happy with it. I'm gonna set this aside now, and we are gonna move on to step 11. For step 11, we will need 2 fabric A's and our block 12. So if you remember, this is block 12. What we're gonna do is we are gonna assemble our fabric A rectangles to the sides of that. Just like this. You're just assembling right here on both sides. So I'm gonna do that, and when I get back, I think we're gonna be able to start putting this quilt together. Okay, I just finished step 11, and that turned out just as expected. So now I'm gonna set that aside, and we need all of our units now. We need to put them all together. Okay, so we need to look at our diagram on page 4, and there's a lot going on. We are essentially putting the entire quilt together right now. So what we need to do is look for the little arrows with the numbers, and we're looking for number 1. So for number 1, we are assembling our middle unit to our right side bottom unit, one of those, this one, and then we're assembling, after we press, we're assembling the left one. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But I'm gonna go through our next step. So now we're looking for number 3 and 4. And number 3 and 4, you need this bottom unit right here. And you need these little side units right here. And we're gonna assemble those to the side of the bottom unit. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And when I get back, we'll assemble that top unit to the quilt and then put our borders on. Okay, I just got done with the bottom part, sewing those 2 side units to the sides. So here we have that part, and then I assembled the middle right here, so these 2 sides to this, and now I'm just covered completely in threads. So we have like 3 more seams to do to put the quilt together, but then we have to put the borders on. So the next step is we're going to be assembling this middle unit to this bottom unit right here, and then the top unit to this. So I'm going to go ahead. It's getting harder and harder to manage because it's so big, and this is the first time I have ever done a finishing tutorial, so I don't even know if it's going to be any good, but we will see, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and assemble those together really quick, and then when I get back, I'll assemble the top. And with the top, you do have to focus on a couple of the pieces where the browns meet in the awning, where the browns meet in this. So you will need to pay close attention when you are doing that. But for now, we're just putting this together. Okay, I just got done putting the middle to the bottom. Oh, it's coming along. Here we go. So cute. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to putting the top piece on. And like I just mentioned, there are some areas where that does need to line up. So I'm gonna show you from the top camera here where those are. So right here where you have this brown, you also need to make sure that it lines up here. You want to make sure those seams nest good when you are putting it together. So you have to worry about it here, and you have to worry about it over here. Just 2 places right here. And my tip is to go ahead and sew right there. So what I like to do is I like to get my pieces in order here, line them up, and I like to flip it up about 1/4 inch and see where I'm at, just to see where I need to do. Now there I am actually pretty perfect. I don't know if you can see that down from up there, but you want to make sure that right here and here, when they open up, they are nested perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and sew right here on both sides and flip it just to make sure that they align perfectly, because if they don't, then I don't have to pick the entire seam. I can just pick that little 3-inch spot. So that's my tip there. Once I check those and those are good to go, then I will put it back down, I will pin it all the way down, and I will sew. So once I do that, I will come back and show you. Okay, I thought I would show you exactly what I meant when I said to sew those little sections. So I'll be careful, but this is what it looks like. I always, wherever anything has to line up, I always make sure I sew that first, because the last thing I want is to get all the way down my seam just to see that it's shifted. I used to do that, and it used to bother me that my pieces just would not come out perfect. So this is kind of my fudging way of to do it. So I'll show you in the top camera, but look right there. So that matches. And you see I've only assembled this a little bit. So see how you can see my hand under there? I did that on both sides, right here and here. Okay, so I'm gonna finish the remainder of my seam. I just thought it would be so cool to show you that. And then when I get back, we're gonna put the borders on. We're almost done. Okay, I just finished this part. Oh my gosh, here, let me see if I can put it on the table better so you can see it. Woo! Does that, no, that probably doesn't work. But anyways, this is what it looks like so far. The last and final step we have is to put the borders on. So I'm sure all of you are familiar with how to put borders on. So I'm gonna go ahead and put mine on, and then I will come back with my completed quilt top. I cannot believe it. Oh my gosh. It looks so, so good. I love it so much. Okay, so I'm gonna go assemble my borders and put them on. I need to square up the quilt just a bit. I think I saw a side over here that was a little wonky. And then I'll be back with my finished quilt. Oh my goodness. Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? I'm finished! Yay! I am so happy. Oh my gosh, this was a lot of work today. I literally made blocks 11, 12, and finished this entire quilt. I've been working on it since 9 a.m. Maybe like 9:30. But look how great, and I've been filming the whole time. I'm exhausted, guys. I'm exhausted, but I am so happy this quilt is done. And I'm actually a little sad too, because this means this is the last, technically last video of the Flower Stand block of the month. And I won't be coming on anymore to talk about Flower Stand. Instead, I'll be coming on to talk about Flower Shop, which is my next block of the month. That starts in November 8th. But look how beautiful. Can we just admire all of the detail really quick? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna put it down on my tabletop and go from my top camera to really get a good look. So I need to clean all of the little threads off, but here we go. Here is our flowers. Oh, looks so good. So good. I'm so happy with it. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to get it quilted. Look at the blocks. Oh my gosh, there goes my pattern. Look at the blocks. They're just so cute. Love them. Let's see if I can maneuver here. Let me just act like it's a tablecloth. There we go. And I'll just start pulling it around like this. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe this was so much work, wasn't it? I think you agree with me. This was a ton of work, but totally worth it. Totally worth it. Let me just push it back up there so we can get this side a little bit. And there we go. Okay, now I just have to pick off all the little threads and cut them off the top, and then pick a pantograph I would like my quilter to use to quilt it. I also need to pick my backing and my binding. I might do something a little different this time, and I'll probably attach that little quilt label that you got in your flower pack month 6. on the back too. So guys, I hope you found this tutorial to be helpful. Again, this is the first time I have ever done anything like this, like finishing a big quilt. And let me tell you, it was a lot of work. I'm exhausted. My back hurts. I'm covered. Look, I just gave up. I'm covered in threads. We all can relate. We're quilters, right? But I was like, oh, I need to be picking them off this whole time. And finally I was like, absolutely not. But I am very exhausted. I cannot wait to relax tonight and get these tutorials edited and out for you. But please comment below if you thought this was helpful or if you have any tips, because I've never watched anybody, I don't think, finish a quilt on YouTube. So if you have any tips for me moving forward, it was a little challenging because my tab camera, I needed to zoom out more and I forgot, and so it was really up close in order to show this big quilt. But if you have any tips for me, please leave them below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And guys, I'm like so sad I don't want to end the video, but oh my goodness, I hope that you enjoyed this whole journey. I hope that you found it very encouraging along the way and it was a great experience for you. And now you have this cute, beautiful quilt now that you probably in the beginning were like, there's no way I can make that. And look, you did it. We did it. And you made this beautiful flower stand quilt. I hope that you use these patterns in the future. Don't forget to check out some of my remix patterns. I think they're going to be a lot of fun. And let me know if you end up making this again, maybe in another fabric collection or in the same. I bet you have a little bit of leftovers. You could probably make it again with a little bit of extra Flower Girl. I think this will be super cute in Dainty Meadow and Cottage Charm. But guys, that's it. We're done. We're all done. I hope you enjoyed again, and thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next time for the next block of the month. Bye, guys.